Now, joining us on the line to take a closer look at what this all means, we are joined by coordinator from the SOS, Support Public Broadcasting Coalition, Uyanda Siyotula, and she joins us on the line. Uyanda, maybe let's first start here. I mean, we have been without a board now for at least 6 months. Why would you say why was the president dragging his feet to finally appoint this board? And why would someone even allow the public broadcaster to be without a board for 6 months?
Good evening, and thank you very much for having me. So it is not very clear, why the president would take for so long. He has had 4 months to appoint the members of the SABC board. There's been delays, and there's been forth between the presidency and the national media movement in Africa. And also, took the presidency to court to try and urge and appoint the SABC board. But I think assumptions, that will come to are the fact that obviously we are heading to elections in the coming year. And, each and every political organization, especially the ANC, wants to have this power over the SABC board. You will remember that under President Ramaphosa's leadership, there was also, the cry from the ANC that, the ANC is not scared because of limitations, that were subsequent to strict and stringent leadership by President Ramaphosa. So it's not clear, but we are assuming that it might be political interference. It might also be that there were certain things that the president or the ANC was not happy about. But like I'm saying, that it's all assumptions, and there's really no clear reason as to why these delays have happened. But what is also clear is that it is politically motivated and, orchestrated and inflicted, I guess.
And now that we have this board, what does it all mean for the stability of the public broadcaster?
Okay, so you will remember that the board actually is critical for the financial stability of the SABC because it actually provides oversight. It ensures that, there is leadership, especially in the policy and the financial, revenue, part. So with the board now, the hope that the SABC will actually, be able to sit and work on strategies that will, increase its financial revenue so that it becomes more stable. And also with the board in place, there's a hope for more accountability and for minimal maladministration, for minimal, wasteful expenditure, because there is an accounting authority and everybody within the organization is held accountable, and they don't just do as they want, which was the case actually without the board.
And I'm sure you've also had all day to look at those who are now part of the SABC's board. What would you say are your views on the skills complement and the character of the new board?
In terms of the skills, it's quite broad. I mean, which is actually the requirement of, the Broadcasting Act, because, we need to have people with finance, people with broadcast, background, policy, development, and law, human resource, a quite range of skills that are required. And we've got those people within the board. We've got Renee Horn, who's mostly finance and digital marketing and digital transformation. We've got lawyers and attorneys. I'm talking about Mr. Tipanyane. We've got Ms. Mun, quite a whole range of interesting individuals and the required expertise. So we also have people with broadcasting background. We've got Pati Samagobeni, we've got Nombuisa Baju. Those. So we've got a great board. However, I think we just need to also just give them time so that they've got this so that they can actually be put into put their skills to work, so that we are able to actually measure their performance. Yeah.
And also we know that, at the public broadcaster, they may be faced with challenges, especially, coming into this new board where we have a declining revenue, which is, largely blamed on the dwindling in advertising. And of course, the competition from newcomers in the sector and the impact as well of the long-awaited digital migration. What challenges do you anticipate for this board to get its job done?
With the SABC, it's quite, it's unpredictable. But one of the challenges that we foresee them having to encounter is obviously, being able being able to actually get the support of the digital, of the minister, the support of the communications department. As we know that there is this digital migration that is hanging over the SABC's shoulders, and, the SABC stands to lose about 68% of its audience, in the 4 main big cities. So, the SABC needs that support, and I think it's going to be really a big struggle to actually ensure that the SABC, does not lose its, its audience in the digital migration process, and that it receives adequate support from oversight structures and also from the department, that process is carried out adequately without rushing the process and leaving, many people behind. Because if majority of people do not have access to information, do not have access to free-to-air television, then, we're risking the SABC losing its audience and people of South Africa losing, access to information.
And lastly, it's something you touched on a bit earlier, Uyanda. It is the issue of us heading into the 2024 elections. How important is this board's independence, especially during a time where we might even find ourselves in a coalition at the national level as well as the provincial level?
Absolutely critical, absolutely critical. So the SABC board independence is, actually the starting point for us to actually have an SABC that is independent. We cannot have an SABC that is independent if the board is not independent, and we need very strong board members to fight for for those who are within the organization, so that there is no political interference. We've seen in the news how certain political figures actually think this new board will actually be an opportunity for them to engage and get the SABC to actually do what they want, and that needs to be done away with. The SABC needs to stand very strong and ensure that there is a very high wall in terms of protecting the editorial policy, the integrity, the credibility of information, and that, the different political parties are well represented, and that there is no political party that has got the upper hand when it comes to the SABC.